Hi guys, I'm catching some blinks of the sun from the sunrise. That was completely majestic, and I'm just so fortunate to see it. I posted my stories in case you live somewhere where you don't have accessibility to see the sunrise, and especially seeing on the water. Something important I wanted to talk about. I think it's a really great time to restart my Multidimensional Wellness Project and create some good content. A lot of social media information, not information, just posts generally of what doesn't kill us make us stronger, and even if it kills us, it still makes us stronger, or we're gonna get through this COVID-19 pandemic on the other side better and stronger. A lot of funny memes and la 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 la. And it really made me think. I thought of this speech over and over and over and over again in my head, and I think it's important. There are certain challenges that all of us have gone through in life. Absolutely all of us. Right now, a lot of people are feeling scared, feeling anxious, feeling so overwhelmed. Some of us are affected more than others, physically, financially, mentally. Even if our lives haven't changed, we feel a global vibration, we feel a funk. Some of us are spinning in anxiety and worries and regrets. Some of us are continuously playing some imaginative scenarios of how things are going to turn out. Some of us are legitimately living right now the challenge of not having a job, not being able to pay the bills, and so on and so forth. And some are regretting maybe not being prepared in whichever level. So all of those take place, I think, all over the world. And I think it is important to sit down and sit back and do look at it as opportunity. I am not being insensitive. I am not trying to downplay what's happening. Oh, this is happening. This is real. This is the most viral thing that we've seen in ages is humanity. It is very real. It should be taken seriously, which is not a synonym for being in constant state of panic. It is what it is. We are, I hope, to the best of our ability, practicing social distancing and doing our personal and civil duty in that sense, not disregarding like this is not happening, and supporting one another. That is all well and great, but speaking of the challenge and maybe feeling so anxious, not knowing how the thing is going to play out, how some people even survive on a basic level, right? We're very fortunate to live in this city. The government's already doing quite a bit to support. All the evictions from homes have been canceled, banned actually, foreclosures too, for I don't know for how long exactly. There's some loans given to small businesses. That doesn't make things swift and easy, but it gives at least a basic level of comfort that people are not going to be on the street with no food to eat, and hopefully people reach out and help out in every way they can. Also, what I wanted to talk about, that was a long entrance, is life as a change, life as a challenge. And every single person, grown-up person, have gone through challenges in their lives. Think about 5 hardest things that you have experienced and that you definitely don't want to repeat. And if you're listening to this, if you're watching this, you have survived them. You came out on the other side. And chances are you came out better in some kind of way. In some kind of way. And this is not a competition whose challenge is stronger, who is a bigger victim, and who is more entitled. No, no. What I'm trying to say is that sometimes we need to sit back and just reflect on what we already have overcome. I'd like to share 5 things that were so hard in the last decade or more for me. And I am here. I am doing this recording, and I think it is important. It is fundamentally important. And I will bring it to the topic of yoga and spirituality because this is what this life is. Our physical experience, we are here to learn. We're here to evolve. And when we fill our life with distractions and not paying attention to our true purpose, which can be filled through a real life, our real physical life, family, business, and so on and so forth, but lived in the purpose of learning and evolving and not just distracting ourselves and being in that rat wheel chase for achieving a life starting tomorrow, preparing to be tomorrow, being content tomorrow when you have something, when you are something, when you look somewhat. 5 tremendously difficult for me at the time things are making a decision to emigrate to the United States, and consequences of very difficult relationship with my loved ones who never accepted my decision. Tremendous guilt and phone conversations that end in tears for years that nearly destroyed me completely. With that being said, it was needed experience in my life. It was difficult, to say the least. And it brought me to everything I am today. And as hard as it is, I would not change this experience. Number 2, I guess challenges associated with making the decision, not being able to drive for 5 or 7 years, not having at some points scrambling for $1 for a bus ride, even though I always had an opportunity to just go back home and not overgo this like embarrassing things like sweating on bus stations in Florida, switching bus to bus, working every job under the sun, right? Not every job, but service industry, restaurants and stuff. And that was not something that I embrace, not something I want to repeat. No, I don't. But if I absolutely have to, I've done it. And you have your own treasure chest of things that you overcame, the things that seem that was in previous life, but was your life, and you've done it. And it taught you something. It brought you somewhere. When you look back at it years from then, you see that puzzle painting coming together, how piece by piece your experiences brought you to certain realizations, brought you to certain people, brought you to certain actions, forced you to sometimes through extreme discomfort, physical, mental, emotional, and made you better in some kind of way. Number 3, divorce, separation, probably the hard, starting life anew. I think many of us have done it. It was tragic, tremendously difficult experience. I had existential fear. I didn't know I can make it. Even though I worked all my life, I still didn't know I can make it on my own. I didn't know how people do this. That was very difficult in every single way, from like basic existence to emotional pain to this not even needed to be described. And that taught me everything. That decision brought me to myself, brought me to beginning of my spiritual journey, brought me to realization of my capabilities, brought me to beginning of the journey of self-acceptance, self-love, self-respect, self-confidence, self-actualization, change in career, change in absolutely everything. And that needed to happen, and that was paired for me with complete shutdown of my nervous system, acceptance of anxiety, depression, perpetual state of panic attacks, a period of my life that now I understand had to happen because for years I have been distracting myself with living based on a belief system that wasn't even mine, or was wrong, what needed to die. I was not doing the job that I wanted to do. I was not where I was supposed to be in a relationship. I was constantly pressured and constantly trying to please everybody and failing at it completely. My soul was bleeding and bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. And I didn't know better. I didn't know how to make different decisions, or I was filled with fear. And I truly believe that my soul took me and like I gave you tailgate signs, and then it took me by the neck and pushed me into the ground. So I could no longer ignore it. So I had no choice. Physically already, my body was completely broken. But change, face it, see what my soul wanted. And no matter how hard it was, no matter how impossible it seemed to change every single thing within me and without me, no matter that it wasn't instant, that it took years, and I'm still there, and now it's going to be the rest of my life, and I am so grateful to that experience. Am I disregarding how difficult that was? No. Do I want to repeat it? I take it slightly or wish it upon anyone? Absolutely not. I am encouraging the comfort and the safety that we built, and I encourage the change as expansion of your comfort zone and not going out of your comfort zone. But sometimes this is a part of our human experience. We need to be pushed to that discomfort, to sit with ourselves, to sit with our light, to sit with our dark, not to run away from discomfort, but look at it and see where it comes from. Is it all external, or there is something internal? Is it something that we have been ignoring, postponing, tucking away? It's going to come out. Life is going to turn in a way for light to be shed on the things that we choose to ignore, or to fight, or to close our eyes on, or la 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 la. And this, to me, I'm not Wikipedia, don't quote me on this, is spirituality. This is the yoga practice. To be present for life as is, and to be present, and life is continuous change. Stability is complete illusion. Stability as we know it, as society. I'm not encouraging a chaos and anarchy. No, it's wonderful that we are striving to build a stable society and great structures and support system and yada 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 yada. But we cannot be dependent on it so much that when something changes, the whole earth is coming away from underneath our feet, and we're like 5-year-old children, don't know whether we'll be able to survive. Yes, we will, because every single one of us have gone through some challenges, and if you haven't yet, you will, and it will change you. But perhaps it will change you for the better. Planning and trying to do our best, it's good. It's responsible. It's adulthood. But knowing that you're gonna be okay, that you have already survived. Look for those 5 most challenging things that you've gone through in life, and you got on the other side, and you're so much better off and happier in many, many ways. And at the time, it did not seem like it whatsoever. The earth was going from under your feet. You thought you're not going to be able to make it, or you were scared, or I can continue this list. But being in discomfort, that maybe was forced upon us. Maybe we can take it as opportunity to look within ourselves and to sit with it, with the discomfort, and really analyze it. Accepting ourselves at where we are, accepting at the things that perhaps we need to change, whether it's our old belief systems that no longer work, whether it's priorities, whether it's accept that we need a change to better, professionally, personally, spiritually, that we can, maybe we need to push ourselves to innovate, to change, to adapt, to shift, to get better, and appreciate the great things in our lives too. Sitting with it. And is it going to make you perfect? No, it's not going to make you perfect. Are you going to react perfect? No, you're not going to react perfect. I'm not perfect, and I never will be perfect. I'm still learning. There's so much darkness and light within each and every one of us. But being able to sit with it and learn from it every single time, and then giving ourselves a little slack too. You might not be able to sit with it because it's too much. You might be just present, observing that you are again filling your life with distractions, just not to feel it or freeze for a moment. But being able to be present for it and be aware of it, it's a tremendous opportunity and a life changer. You creating space for you to evolve and hopefully share the light that you discover within you, or harvest the dark that you discover within you for good, for you, for your loved ones, for the world around. I'm not going around and just like forcing my personal story and challenges upon people. I share it because I think it is important. Because we're all in this together. Because we are individual and different, but we're all one. We're all living our story separately, but also our story globally intertwined. People say the power of positivity sometimes is so sarcastic and so on and so forth. How about power of negativity? Can you feel it now? Can you feel it hang in the air? Can you feel uneasiness? This is a global vibration. And maybe focusing and creating a different vibration is not such a voodoo thing. Maybe there is something to it. All the challenges that we've gone through, does it make us special or entitled or... No. Obviously I'm special. So are you. But not for this reason. This should not make us victims or make us entitled for something, right? We're entitled for our own happiness that we create within ourselves. There's no marketing pitch in the end. There's no even smooth ending. I think it's important to take a second and close your eyes, breathe, and think about all the things that you have already gone through. And they might have not been so dramatic. They might have been dramatic for you at the time. Exams that you passed. You learned how to walk. It wasn't easy. You might not remember it. You had your heart broken. You had financial difficulties. You had to learn how to be an adult, maybe still learning. Knowing your humanity, no matter what age, knowing that there are moments that you doubt yourself, knowing that there are moments that you're sad, knowing that there are moments that you're anxious, and that is normal. This is human being. I felt so anxious last night for no particular, I wouldn't say no particular reason. Of course, there are always reasons, but I just felt restless and uneasy, and I wanted to cry. It was so much of it, I just wanted to cry. I said to myself, I am struggling, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. And I breathed, and I listened to some meditation, and I munched on some food, and I woke up, and I went to see a sunrise and to share this with you, because I think this is important. Whatever challenges are sent our way, having a mindset of viewing it as opportunity and not as some kind of punishment, I think it fundamentally changes our approach and our quality of life. Because I think all of us, hopefully most of us, will continue our lives. And how can we live it richer, fuller, from within and without, for as long as we're here on this earth? I think it is important. Love you guys. Be well.